Stop for a second and look at your browser tabs right now. How many do you have open? 5, 10, maybe way too many. Now, here's the real question no one asks. Do you actually know who's tracking every click you make while you browse? We've accepted that using the internet means drowning in information and trading our privacy for convenience. But what if your browser didn't just open websites, but actually understood what you were doing, protected you before things went wrong, and helped you think faster while you worked? That's where Norton Neo changes everything. This isn't just another AI browser trend. Norton Neo is a secure AI browser built by Norton that thinks with you, blocks threats automatically, and quietly replaces multiple AI tools for research while you browse. And once you see this in action, going back to Chrome feels strange. I want you to come along with me to take a really deep look at this and understand exactly why it is worth using. If you're a content creator, a tech early adopter, someone who cares about online privacy and security, or you simply value productivity and organization, this is going to make sense very quickly. And if you're a student, or you're just tired of traditional browsers feeling outdated, or you've been looking for a solid ad blocker that actually works, this video is going to open your eyes. I want to invite you to go ahead and grab the Neo browser from the link I put right in the description so you can follow along. When you first enter the browser, the first thing you will notice is just how incredibly clean the navigation is. There's no clutter screaming for your attention. Right away, you'll notice you can view your tabs horizontally or vertically, which sounds small, but it makes a real difference. You also have quick access to your bookmarks, your chat history with the AI assistant, and your browsing history, all clearly separated so nothing feels mixed together. There's also a built-in image gallery, which might not sound exciting at first, but in a moment I'll show you how Norton Neo lets you generate images with AI for free, and that's where this becomes really useful, especially for creators. When you click on the settings icon, you'll see how much control you have over how the browser behaves. You can decide how tabs group together, whether inactive ones are hidden, and how your workspace stays organized. One setting that really stood out to me is something called Local AI is Enabled. This is a big deal, and it answers a lot of the questions people ask, like, is Norton Neo Browser safe? What this means is that your chats and browsing history are stored locally on your device. This is a massive deal. Your data stays yours, meaning that your data doesn't have to be sent off to a cloud service first to be processed. That improves speed because some tasks are handled directly on your machine. It improves privacy because your data isn't constantly being sent to external servers. And it improves security because there's less exposure of sensitive or personal information. As you explore more settings, you'll find shortcuts and theme customization options. But there's another feature I really like called Manage Interests. This is where you tell the Neo AI browser what you actually care about. You choose what topics you want the AI to surface in your Neo feed. Instead of flooding you with noise, Neo shows you content that matters to your interests and ongoing work. It learns from your browsing context directly on your device, so it keeps you informed and inspired, all while respecting your privacy. You also get full control over memory. In the memory section, you decide what Neo remembers. You can tell it to remember certain preferences or ongoing projects, and you can edit or delete those memories at any time. Neo personalizes your experience with the context you choose, not through hidden tracking or silent profiling, and that's a huge difference compared to most browsers today. Now let's talk about security, because this is where Norton Neo really separates itself. In the security section, you can clearly see that protection is built in, not something you're expected to fix later with extensions. Right away, the browser scans sites for threats, blocks ads and trackers, and stops websites from trying to get around those protections. Everything is visible and under your control. There's no guessing and no hidden settings. In simple terms, Neo protects you by default and shows you exactly how it's doing it, which is why many people feel it's safer than most alternatives. You can also toggle widgets on or off to customize your home screen. You might want a clock, the weather, or a personalized newsfeed right there when you open a new tab. It's simple, but it makes the browser feel like it belongs to you. Toward the end of the tour, if you click on the 3 dots in the upper right corner, you'll notice something familiar. Neo Browser looks like Chrome, and that's because it's built on the same underlying technology called Chromium. That means most of the options you're used to are still there. I personally am going to go ahead and enable Neo as my default browser right now, because I am ready to make the switch. You can also sign in with your Google account if you want, which makes transitioning even easier. And now I want to show you one of my favorite parts, the snippets. This button opens quick snippets you can use while browsing, like summarizing a page, explaining a topic in simple terms, or breaking down pros and cons. And right next to it, you have a microphone that lets you talk directly to the AI assistant, which feels surprisingly natural. Let me give you a real example. I'll search for ways to make money with AI tools. If I click on chat, I'm talking directly to the native AI. But if I click here, then it will do a traditional web search. For example, this video by Iman Gaji catches my eye. If I hover over the link and click the preview button, I can instantly preview or summarize it before I click. This feels great. No more opening dozens of tabs or losing focus just to see what a link is about. Neo gives you quick insight so you can decide faster and stay in control of your attention. If I click on Neo Chat, the AI side panel opens, and I can ask it to summarize the video or give me key takeaways. Look how cool that is. And I can continue the conversation by asking more questions about the information in the video. Normally, I would have to open another tab to use another AI or use that YouTube function that isn't even available on all videos yet. Here, Neo adapts to what I'm doing and helps without breaking my flow. This is where the one box for everything really shines. Whether you want to chat, browse, or take action, it all happens in one place. While recording this video, I suddenly got hungry, so I asked Neo for the best pizza delivery nearby. Instead of searching the web, it gave me suggestions directly in chat. That's what I like about Norton Neo. Most AI browsers add noise. Neo brings calm. It understands context and offers help quietly without flooding your feed with ads. And yes, I ended up craving a slice from Mama's too. Now let's talk about image creation. With a single prompt, Neo generated an image in seconds. I tried something more complex using a JSON prompt. Look how cool the result is that it generated. You can even create an image based on another one, which is incredibly useful for content creation. The best part is that these images are free and come with no watermark. At this point, I had quite a few tabs open, but Neo stayed fast. It didn't slow down, and it automatically organized my tabs using smart tab grouping. This keeps your workspace tidy so your mind can stay focused and productive, which is one of those productivity hacks you don't realize you need until you have it. And speaking of keeping everything organized, I am going to use the typing assistant to create an email based on an article I found. Without any plugin or extension, Neo summarized the article and generated an email that sounded like I wrote it myself. I just copied it and pasted it into my email. Simple and effective. Oh, and since I mentioned extensions, if you have seen the videos on my channel, you will notice that I use the vidIQ extension a lot. Well, I would like to use it here, since this is now my default browser. To add extensions, it is very simple. I just searched for it in the browser, pressed the add button, then signed in, and boom, I have it active. For example, I can download the thumbnails of the videos and see channel stats. I did the same thing with the NextLev extension, and there it is. I can now see if a channel is monetized, and I can see an approximation of a channel's income. By the way, I think it is a good idea to make a tutorial about this channel. Let me know in the comments if you want to see how I make animations like this Faceless Channel, which, as you can see here, is doing quite well. So here are my final thoughts on this Norton Neo review. Neo is the world's first safe AI native browser that helps before you ask. Backed by Norton, Neo delivers calm, in-flow intelligence. We are talking about summaries, reminders, and personalized suggestions delivered directly onto the page. With Neo Memory for opt-in personalization, Scoped Sync for secure continuity, Smart Tab Grouping, Newsfeed, and reminders that actually help you follow through, Neo transforms browsing into an intelligent, privacy-first experience. This is what a secure AI browser should look like. It is privacy-grade by default, available now for Windows and Mac users, and it is coming soon to mobile. Remember, the browser is free. Download it and get started. I will leave all the links to the resources in the description so you can try it out yourself. This is a browser that doesn't just browse, but actually thinks and acts for you. Once you experience that, going back feels strange. And that is usually when people realize this is not just another browser. It is a glimpse of what browsing is becoming.